What you want from me? What you want from me? Tell me what it is, don't tell me what it ain't. They try to throw salt, it just made the pressure raise. Going through a phase, gotta get myself out it. Don't talk about it, boy, they said you gotta be about it. So I be trying to face the world head on. Front seat riding, cruising down the meadows. Pedal to the meadow, cool breeze blowing down the windows. Calm trees, blowing trees, get that boy some headroom. On the interstate in traffic, but I swerve out. So what's the moves for the night? What's the word now? What's the links? Hit me up, we could go now. I got hella pieces, she got hella features. Get me hella geeked up, she be blowing shisha. Reefer on me loud, hope them boys don't creep up. I don't know a thing if you do not speak up. In my own world, I don't try to keep up. Tell me what you want, don't be tryna front like I ain't what you want. I ain't here to stun, let me take you out for lunch. I'ma get you drunk, yeah, feeling on your buns. Licks in the blunt, I got ash in my cup. All these girls showing up, but I don't give a fuck. Cause you the one I want, girl, you the one I want. Girl, you the one I want. Hey, come and show me love. You wanna be a rider.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. Y'all know who it is. You know the voice, you know the sound. James Weber Williams, DJ Exclusive, is in the building. Good morning, everybody. Make sure that you stay tuned. Like It or Not is coming up next. You don't want to miss it. Good morning, everybody. Spin Cycle, Chili Crab, good morning. Win Singapore, Zozo Bob, what's going on? Torrance Joseph, Rolling Dragon, Shoot the Dragon, what's going on? Good morning, y'all. Tiger, what's up, NBC? Good morning, everybody.
Tell me what it is. What you want from me? What you want from me? Tell me what it is, don't tell me what it ain't. They try to throw salt, it just made the pressure raise. Going through a phase, gotta get myself out it. Don't talk about it, boy, they said you gotta be about it. So I be trying to face the world head on. Front seat riding, cruising down the meadows. Pedal to the meadow, cool breeze blowing down the windows. Calm trees, blowing trees.
Torrance Joseph, hope you doing good. I'm doing pretty good myself, I guess, all things considered. Shoot the Dragon likewise. If you hear any snoring, it is me.
I'm not your girl and I never will be. Don't call me up, don't waste your time, cause I'll be your enemy. If you want love,
Amber Layla, good morning, Amber.
Just give it up. I'm not your girl, cause I only love me. Don't get me wrong, you and I could have fun together when I feel done with having fun on my own. It's better to care for yourself, not rely on somebody else. So don't get me wrong, I'm just riding alone. Just walk away, cause I got no intentions of hanging out with you tonight. Don't look my way. If you want a problem, I'll give you
Jason Goodcraft, good morning, Jason. B, good morning, B.
If you want love, just give it up. You got the wrong girl.
B, almost a month later, and Renaissance still has a hold on me. A tight grip.
You got the wrong girl. This is my time. I'm feeling good. Rule every party. See how I shine when I'm alone.
Fatal Floor Dragon, good morning to you.
should go out. Need someone else, someone who gets you. Don't stick around. I'm pretty wild. I don't do monogamy.
Tractor Tasha, what's going on, Tractor? Good morning to you. Juanita, good morning, Juanita, good morning. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Chewy Crabs, me too. I think I've been listening to it just about every day, at least once, all the way through. Starting right from these ones, Can't Stop With Me, all the way through. So, how much does a roof cost? How much does a roof cost? Nothing. It's on the house. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Lily.
May break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me.
Morning, Mom and Daddy as well.
No, it
Love
just
y'all
can't
being
hurt
here.
me. No.
Good morning to the rest of the family as well. If y'all tuning in, love y'all.
No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no. I know it's hard to be polite, and it's easy being petty. My mama used to tell me, gotta use you when he ready. Man, it's crazy how my brother said it could have been my cell. It's either prison or a grave. That's what everybody tell me. Man, life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down, though I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off you all. Cause loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like
now, Shoot the Dragon, I just can't go off the top of the dome with jokes, especially a pirate joke.
But your words can't hurt me.
So Bob, unfortunately, I have, and I don't miss it. I mean, I do, but I don't. Not all the shit that came good.
No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Jonathan, good morning to you. Happy Odin's Day to you as well. Laura Estrada, good morning, Laura.
No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no.
Oh, Juanita, I wish it was raining here. I think it's about too soon.
No, you just can't hurt me.
Sleep. And I gotta work today, so yay.
See, it's hard to be polite. It's easy being petty. Mama used to tell me, gotta use you when you're ready. Cause I ain't working on my own timing. Ain't got no diamonds on me, but I stay shining. Yeah, yeah. They say the world would be a better place if we take out the hate.
Stop all the hate right now.
Yeah. Let's keep it real, it'd be better if we just subtract the fake. Yeah, so be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me, no. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me, no, no, no.
Oh, wow, Chewy, that's awesome. No, I do not. I do not be outside like Rebecca does. I say it's best for me to stay my ass in the house. And the reason for that is I was once attacked by a whole bunch of street moms. They did some unspeakable things to me.
I'm a little bit naughty. I'm a little bit too concerned.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, and good morning again. Make sure that you hit that like button, man. Share the stream with somebody that's never seen it before. Let's break that algorithm, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Smash that like button. Good morning to everybody across all the different streaming platforms and channels that we are on. Like it or not, it's going down. Stay tuned.
He comes around, better knock that stuff down. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer. Yeah. So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Bye-bye.
Oh, hell no, Fatal Flaw. Carly Wynn, good morning to you, Carly.
Every time you lose, you can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, I can really start over. Yeah, in the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on me. You're just wasting my time because you're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure. Yeah.
Oh man, did I ever tell y'all my story about Bourbon Street? I don't think so. Let's have a little story time real quick. Let me sip my coffee. Let me drop the music down a little bit. So picture it. Here we go. My New Orleans story. So the year was 2015. I'm still working at Sodexo, which is a food service company. So this was around the time that I had my first hip replacement. 2 years had passed, and everything was going good until that one day, and everything just started failing again. So my leg felt like somebody had a knife and was digging in my groin area. That's what it felt like. So once that happened and I found out I didn't find out what was going on, I went to the doctor, got to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, everything looks good with the replacement. Nothing looks like it's wrong. So once I talk to the doctor and I'm talking to him, I say, hey, it hurts in the groin area, hurts when I walk. The same damn feeling that I was feeling before I had my first hip replacement surgery. So what they decided at that point, then he's like, oh, well, your hip has been recalled and we got to take the hip out. What the hell? Okay. So that was the whole conversation. He was like, we got to make sure that the metal level is not too high in your bloodstream and nothing's going wrong. I'm like, okay, cool. So once I did that, I had a business trip for training in New Orleans. So I went to New Orleans, probably the worst pain in my life, going from Bourbon Street to Tulane University, which is like a 15-20 minute trolley ride every day for like a week. So, and we rode the trolley, didn't have any vehicles. So I tried riding the trolley and everything. It was just the worst pain ever, trying to stand up and get off the bus at the same time and just walk. Horrible. Yes, recall roller dragging, which means that there's a malfunctioning part in the prosthetic. Basically, that's what the recall is. So while I'm there in New Orleans, it got to the point that one morning I woke up, I tried to stand up out of the bed to go use the bathroom. I fell right to the ground. So I had to drag myself to the bathroom that morning, and it was just terrible. So I called off. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to come in to train. And I can't even walk. I can't get on the bus. I can't do anything. Like, I stayed in the room crying all day long. So the next day, my training mates decided they're like, all right, we'll take you because we hear that you're in a lot of pain and just a lot of stuff going on. So later that next day, and it's a long story. Let me take some more coffee. Okay. So that next day, I get the call from my doctor, and the doctor tells me that, yeah, there is a high level of chromium and some other metal in your bloodstream, and when you get back in town, we need to take that hip out right away. Cool. So the rest of the time I was in New Orleans I was just sad, but I had people around me that were working with me that made sure that I was good. So later that night, they took me to Bourbon Street, and when I tell you, we got white girl wasted, chocolate wasted. It was that bad. I'm talking about, there's this little haircut thing. I know if you've ever been on Bourbon Street, there's this bar where there's a barber's chair that's sitting in the middle of in the front of the store, the front of the bar or whatever. So they put me in that chair like 5 times, and this chick with a bikini top on, just working, doing her thing. That's all I say. And she gets the bottle and she's pouring it in my mouth like a lot. This is like 2013, 15. I think it was 2015. So that she's just pouring. So I'm just like wasted. But at the end of the day, The pain was, I ain't gonna say the pain was there, but how I was feeling was still there. And it was just, here it is. I have to go through what I already went through again, because the first surgery wasn't easy. And the second surgery was going to be worse than the first one. Good morning, Laverne. Good morning, everybody. So once I'm there on Bourbon Street, I'm drunk as hell. And I got in my feelings. I started crying. So I'm like, I need to step away. I need to go outside and I need to smoke a cigarette, because I'm just like, I can't believe that I got to go through this again. So while I'm on Bourbon Street, I'm looking for, and I'm going to use my Black and Mild as an example. I got the cigarette in my mouth, right? Next thing I'm looking for is my lighter, which I don't have. So I'm looking down. Then I stand up. There's this guy, homeless guy thing, in front of me with the light like this. And he's like, it looks like you can really use this right now. And I said, man, you have no idea. So I bent my head down and light the cigarette. And I'm like, man, I really appreciate you. And I lift my head up to get the lighter back. The guy was gone, y'all, completely gone. He's just like not there anymore. I look around everywhere. And this man is completely gone, y'all. Walked up and down Bourbon Street. Did not see this man anywhere else. All that to say is angels hiding in plain sight that we just don't know about. After that, I was just wild. And I went back to drinking. I went back in. I'm like, y'all, just the weirdest thing just happened to me. Like, did anybody else see this guy? And they're like, everybody like, I didn't see anybody come up to you. I'm just like, that's crazy. But yes, that's my story time of New Orleans, when the random stranger, spirit, ghost, I don't know, surprised me with a smoke. So it was magical. That's all I say. But then in turn, they did take the hip out going back home. It was so mangled inside of me that it just ate up all of my inside of my hip, man. So I say I got a nice little payout for it though. So many years ago. Those were the days. All right, y'all. That was Bubba's story time. The queen is here in the building, so you know what time it is. Like it or not, it's about to go down. Thank y'all for listening. I love y'all. Mean it. Here we go. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's the summertime, right? Let's get it like it or not. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Yeah. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going down.
Rebecca Zora's in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, a real life is. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. She's always coming up with the master plan. Politics, dreaming, trying to find the meaning of life. While the feds keeps us in stride.
I am your DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. I stay dropping them jams.
With hope, dad jokes, culture, it's politics. What's here right now is the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I ended up with the plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. Tuesday to Thursday, you know how we do. Let's go. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going down.
Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going, it's going. Hey man, let's start this damn show.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Those were the days. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Oh gosh. I literally just ran to my chair. The lighting was kind of off back here. I'm like, I'm turning on the wrong lights. So anyways, good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it.
Yes. How are you guys doing this morning? Giving you a little bit of shoulder. So don't be alarmed,
Come on, kill
folks.
him with the
Don't be
shoulder.
alarmed. It's just shoulder and
Kill him with the
arm.
shoulder.
Okay.
We don't need another hero. Sorry.
No, you know where I'm at with it tonight?
What at? What at? Well, here we go.
Impossible things are happening every day.
It's possible.
That's where I'm at today. That's
I
where
love it.
I'm at today.
Man, I caught the end of it last night. I mean, of course, it's streaming everywhere, but it was on ABC last night, and I just caught like the last part of it. I was like, oh, Whitney.
I was definitely watching, and as I love Whitney,
right.
It was Brandy. She
oh my
is
God.
literally my. Y'all know I'm a Brandy, like I'm obsessed with Brandy.
The vocal Bible. Let's go.
She is the vocal Bible, baby. Hello. She is royalty in this thing.
That's one thing that I will never recant. That girl is the vocal Bible. I'm gonna always give her
your
that.
favorite artist studies her. Your favorite artist that can sing the house down literally studies her. I studied this woman's vocals. My sister loves her, which in our household we just grew up with Brandy, and watching yesterday night, and it's funny because she gets her flowers a lot, but there's always something new when her story is coming out, because they try to tarnish her name. But in this specific story with Cinderella, it was the first time that we've all come and seen a Black princess for Disney.
Yep.
And for me, when I seen that, as a child, and anybody else who watched it too, they saw themselves in this movie, no matter what color you were. And the thing about it is, for the first 5 minutes, you were like, how is the mama Black, the daddy white, the child Asian, and the stepmama for Brandy is white. She got a Black girl and a white girl, and then Brandy's a peasant. They made sure to do it like that, especially because we weren't going to be like, this white lady is treating this Black little peasant bad. We didn't look at any of that, because they made the story so colorful, and we were like, it's crazy. But then 5 minutes later, we were just so enamored with the movie, with Whitney, with Brandy, with all of the actors. They were all amazing in their own right.
What was the other stepsister's name?
The Black girl that passed.
Yeah. When I saw the movie, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I forgot she was in this too.
Oh yeah, I couldn't forget that she was I loved her a lot when she had the representation for the big girls, but even in the movie, it was like they were the stepmother knew that her kids were beautiful. They were different, but they were beautiful, and that's what I like. They had weird quirkiness to them. Like she had itchy scratchiness when she was nervous, but she was very. But I was looking at her character, and like she was very, very smart in poetry. She loved poetry. And then her mom told her, don't show that part of you, because they like stupid, like little, ditzy women. And it was funny because I was like, wow. Then I realized she had flexi rods in her hair in 1997. And flexi rods did not come out for us until about 8 years ago, like for really get popular. But she had flexi rods in her hair in 1997. So a lot of history repeats itself. I really like the movie. Brandy definitely did that for me as a young Black girl, seeing a princess. My first doll was a Brandy doll, a Black Brandy doll. And I still got it till this day, because it was Moesha, and then after she became Cinderella, they made a doll for the likeness for the Black Cinderella. And what I do love about it is, I know we talk about remixes a lot and how we don't like remixes so much all the time. Some remixes are great, some are not. But with this, they made sure to take each Roger and Hammerstein song from the original play of this Cinderella, and they continued to do it with no remixes. The only song that they added at the end was something that they wanted Whitney to do at the end of the movie. They made Brandy not do no runs for real in the songs. They wanted her to sing Broadway style. So because she's an R&B singer, so they had to teach her how to sing it in a way where it was like, it's possible, like just straight up. And
just like her.
Because I study her. But yes, I love her. And so and I love that we got to hear that part part of the story. Then Brandy's shoe size being a 9, and so they said she said a 9 looks like a 12 on television. So the feet that y'all see ain't even hers.
Right here.
So it's just, if you guys haven't watched the special, go and watch it. It was nostalgic.
It was.
It was such a moment, and you can watch it at any time. I know during the pandemic, I watched it in my own little corner, in my own little chair. Always makes me cry since I was little. That song, damn, makes me damn cry. It just,
right.
It's just a sad song, but it's like a sad, beautiful song. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah.
And before we get started, oh my gosh, Rebecca, I'm not gonna even lie to you. So I remember watching some of it, but I like going through, I'm like, damn, I really missed a lot. But my favorite character probably was gotta be Whitney as the
she
fairy
was an amazing
godmother.
She was yes. Like
that's
they try
gonna
to
be my
remix
fairy godmother.
Fairy godmother. You can't remix this is a movie that will be, let me tell you, I don't recognize any Cinderella but this one. And no offense to the ones that came after and the original one that came before, which is a snorebore. But when you were able to see it in this way and we see representation that's done right, I mean, we didn't even question this dang family's bloodline.
We didn't at all.
We was just like, Cinderella, man, your stepmama trying you. Gotta go get the prince, man. Go get the prince. Like that's where we were with it. Like the prince is fine. The
right.
prince is having a ball. We were so into all of that. We did not question it, but you are so right. And the other character is David's uncle. I always been saying that David looks like that character. That's the character that I'm talking about. The assistant to the prince. He looks like David to me.
The guy from Seinfeld, y'all.
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
He looks like David to me.
He does.
Yes, he does. And like the accent and everything. But I love that character. And I love how he said the name of the prince, because the prince had 94,000 names. And his mama did too. He had 94,000 names, child. Christopher Rupert, Lancelot. It was a lot.
Jason Alexander. Thank you, B. Jason Alexander.
And he has such a warm heart. And just watching those people still love on each other years and years after. They talked about the chemistry of Brandy and the guy who was much older than her. But they talked about the chemistry. It was like 6 years older, but she was 17. They talked about the chemistry of them on the set. And he said, his name is Paolo. And he said it was unrehearsed. It was unscripted when he saw Brandy come down towards the stairs in her gown for the first time. And you can see, because he's an extra person, so he was just explaining it. He said you can see in the movie where he goes, and then he just relaxes because he was that enamored with Brandy's beauty.
Now I gotta go watch the special.
Okay, you gotta go watch the special. Yeah, it was so sweet. And then it was crazy because Brandy had started, and we've heard Brandy say this a lot. And then if you know from growing up and listening to Brandy and watching how people described her, she was never talked about when she first came out as beautiful.
Yeah.
And she said that people doubled down on that around her, that she wasn't beautiful. Her eyes were spaced out, all kinds of things. And to be amongst this whole cast that could not stop saying how beautiful Brandy was. Now imagine her in that moment. Not that she needed to hear that, but she needed to hear that as a child, in the industry. Now, all the little girls that watch that can also feel the same beauty. Like,
right.
A dark-skinned girl with braids, slanted eyes, and just her being the princess. And we're usually seeing princesses that are white, blonde hair, and then the next step would be a lighter, a fair skin, maybe mixed person. That would be it. But a dark-skinned princess in the Disney brand, they took a chance, and it definitely, the standard of beauty was flipped upside down.
Yeah, it definitely paid off, especially that you would think that Disney would make her change the braids and do everything else. Nope, left her just like it, like she was, and I love that. And same thing that they're gonna do with Halle, I think, in the Little Mermaid remake, where they got her dreads still, and the only thing they did was make them red. And I'm starting to hear like a little buzz about trailer coming real soon, so I'm excited for that one.
Yes,
not everything deserves a live action remake, but.
No, but these are
This, yes.
That man was in it. I forget his name. He was the fairy godmother in the remake of the remake.
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter, and I had to turn the volume down on TV every time he. Yes,
Yes.
yes, and I'm like, I know
He's
I'm
so
loud, but this
extra.
man,
I
he is
love
so.
him.
I said, okay, but he was saying, and I agreed with it. He said, man, this was when we heard Whitney and we seen Brandy. It was black. Cinderella was
Right.
black.
It's black. That
Now
was it.
it just became black. Everybody is black in here. We didn't see anything else but black. And it's true. For black households, it just was black Cinderella.
Absolutely.
We don't recognize nothing else, not another. I know that we went and rented this from Blockbuster and never brought it back.
Hello.
We never brought it back.
It was one of those keep.
Yes.
You know, just mess up the membership. Just man, F that membership. I can go get another one in my sister name.
Exactly. I was 5. Look, I was 7, 8. We never brought it back. By the time I was 10, we had a membership in my name.
Look, child, you know how many Blockbuster memberships I didn't had in my lifetime?
It's crazy. It's crazy. But shout out to Brandy. I love her so much. Shout out to RIP to Whitney. RIP to the actor, which I can't get her name, but even the stepsister who did an amazing job. The whole cast did such an amazing job.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna rewatch it again just to. Where is the soundtrack?
Okay.
25 years and we ain't got no soundtrack. But yes. Ooh, after I just ran my mouth. I heard your little story. I literally came in on the end of it about your hip being demolished.
Child, yes.
Demolished. But you said you got a good payout. It got crazy.
Yeah, it did. At the end, it got really crazy. So with the hip recall, right? How it works
is hip recall.
Yes. So how it happens is once you get a hip replacement, basically the replacement, they don't get FDA approval. Okay, I'll take that back. They get FDA approval, but it's like, hey, we got this hip. Okay, it's just like this other hip that's on the market, but the ball bearing where it bend at, it's like made of metal. It works pretty freaking cool and everything. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna put that in people's bodies and it's gonna be okay.
It was like
but
a
all
test.
but it all in term of all of that thing, while it's moving and doing what it's supposed to do, it's shaving metal and everything else in your bloodstream. So that's what mine was doing. When they took it out, I think it took like 7 hours. The surgery was 7 hours to get the old hip out because it was so badly messed up inside of me. And they were just like, the way it was mangling, like all of my inside of my hip joint, I ain't gonna say demolished. It was shredded. Like when they took out the implant, it was mangled up pretty bad.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they had to put a new one in at that same time, and that new one is just like, it's a mess. That surgery took 7 hours. The original surgery only took 2 hours putting it in. But this one, to try to take out the old one and then put everything in and then losing blood, they done gave me a blood transfusion. I woke up, I got tubes in my legs. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, they since it was recalled, they did the settlement thing. You know how they do the little stomach mesh surgeries, and now the Camp Lejeune water thing and all of that stuff. My hip was part of that recall. Around that time, they started blowing up a lot.
I'm seeing that in my emails. Whatever Lejeune is. Why am I getting that email?
Me too. I've never been in anybody's military and never planned on going. But when I tell you, it pops up on YouTube for me. It pops up in my email. It pops onto the goddamn TV.
It's almost right there with the car warranty calls.
Yes.
I don't know who Camp Lejeune is, and it sounds like a Haitian last name. So I thought, is this somebody I know? My Haitian behind Lejeune. Do I know Lejeune? Like, I don't know.
You're trying to figure it out, Rebecca.
I'm like, where is it coming from? Why is it hitting me up? What do I got to do with Camp Lejeune? It's so many different. It's just crazy, but
so many things.
Yeah,
but yeah, Becca, it came with a pretty high payout, and around that time I was still younger. I was just blowing money fast. It was a good time. Then that was around the time when I got married. That was the Beyonce Formation tour, and that's when bought a house. So just like it was a whole lot going on. I was just blowing money fast. So I miss those days. And then look, on top of that, it was my oldest sister and my daddy. So all three of us had to have hip replacement surgery. Yeah. And all three of us had hip recalls. So all three of us went through it, the same thing. My daddy handled it like a champ. I think he had both legs done, but Papa handled it like a champ. That man was up walking like the next day. Me, it took me like 3 days to get out of bed.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So are you on a cane?
Oh hell no. Like I have some back problems. I was on the cane for a while, but I was to the point like walking with this cane, a wheelchair, a walker, anything makes me feel old. Yeah. So I stopped walking with them. Now I will say, if you ever see me walking, I wobble a little bit. Like wobble, baby, wobble, baby.
Oh, I've seen you. I'm like, you just be Rebecca, you walking too fast. Remember? You was like, yeah, Rebecca,
girl, slow down.
Everybody tells me I walk fast, child. When I'm on, and especially when I got on heels,
long legs, child.
Yes, long legs, and everywhere is the runway. That's the problem. If I see space, I'm just like,
be pumping.
And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But you'll see it. One of my legs is longer than the other one, but like significant difference too.
So that's
if I
what
lay down.
Limp.
Yeah, so I have to lift in one shoe and everything else, child. It's a whole bunch. But real quick, shout out to Mama and Daddy, who's their anniversary today. Happy anniversary, Mama and Daddy.
Shout out to Mama Gwen and Daddy.
Celebrating 48 years, child.
48
when she told me, I had to call her and say, how many years, Mama? I'm like, wait, because I remember seeing the picture. You was pregnant with my sister and you was in the backyard. And I'm like, damn, my sister 40s. Damn. Yeah, 48 years.
48 years. That's beautiful.
It's a long goddamn time.
Love
child.
don't last like that no more. Love,
you know,
don't last like that no more.
It's like once it got to our generation, my generation, that is the Xers, we effed it up. Child, I ain't seen nobody. Well, I'll take that back. I've seen maybe a few people that past 10 years.
The Xers didn't do it. I can't put it on y'all. You're ex-millennial, whatever you call it. So y'all didn't do it. And I'll say the millennials were the last to actually see and recognize when love was falling apart, to how to fix it. It was social media that ruined it for every generation. People who weren't like people who were rich but couldn't get the woman were now able to dive into DMs. People who were in relationships were now able to, and women that wanted people who were in relationships were able to utilize it that way. You didn't have to be fine anymore. You just had to have money, because social media tells you that's what guys need to have.
Yep.
If you are not at a certain level, if you're not paying for everything for a woman, you are not, you have no business talking to somebody. And then for the woman, your body image, we've watched how the metamorphosis of the body. We went through the phase of where you had to be so thin, right? And then we went through the phase where thickness was coming into style, and then now getting your body done. There was back in the day, who you found on the street or by the telephone or in the grocery store, you were just attracted to that person maybe from whatever you saw or whatever the conversation was.
Oh my gosh.
Communication over the phone. Y'all remember that when you had to go call the person on the phone? You remember that? And just be on the phone all day, all night, talking
to them. You couldn't DM nobody, nothing.
You had to go to their house to go find them, not in a creepy way, but just to be like, baby, please, baby, please, baby, please. You had to do that, okay? A woman was showing back in the day. That's when they had the trench coats and the lingerie underneath. I couldn't wait for my day. By the time my day came, everybody was just, now it became different. And now it's like we're looking at that when it comes to relationships. It sucks because our generation, and there are men and women alike who are in this whole thing and saying, damn, I wish somebody, felt the same way I do. And the thing is, you do, but everybody is so afraid because of what has transpired over the last few years when it comes to relationships. And the basis for it, hearing people, and I have nothing wrong with this, but watching Kylie Jenner at 17 say, I think like a few years later say, I've dreamt of, in her teenage years, I've always dreamt of being a mom. you dreamt of that was your dream. Like, this is what you have for yourself. Just seeing that being examples for our kids, our millennial kids. Excuse me, not even our millennial kids. Our what do they call the ones that's outside now? I don't even know. Pandemic Z's. Okay, the Z's, right? These
Yeah, that's the
kids.
millennials too.
Yeah, no, it's a mix, but it's not only the millennials, it's the Xers. Not only the Xers, it's the boomers. Everybody has had changes in how they date because of how social media allows people to have personas.
Yeah.
You can't even, and you have to really have strength in your relationship and understand what the difference is. DMs can ruin your whole relationship. And that goes for a man and a woman or whoever, however you're dating and identifying it. Social media has caused this warped sense of relationships. People get on there and will read into a post from Justin LeBoy's page, which is devoted to toxicity, and toxicness has winning. A lot of the songs that were about love and fighting or fighting to making up or whatever the case may be, when we hear, which is a conversation we can get into and then move on to the news with it, which is this is news. Recently, Diddy had came out with a question and said, "Why is R&B dead?" People were like, well, they're not singing about love anymore. But the R&B artists like Usher, we know Tank, and a lot of the other artists, the old school ones from the 80s and the 90s came out and said R&B never died. It's just that we're accepting, just like with social media, we're accepting a different form of it, and we're calling it R&B. We're just stapling that as R&B. With relationships, we're accepting this whole different form of it and stapling that as, oh, this is how relationships should be. Men need to have money and women need to have great bodies.
And it's okay to talk to multiple people as long as you're not cheating or sending nudes.
And
Rebecca.
And it's crazy. And this is what we're looking at when it comes to love. So shout out to Mama Gwen. Shout out to you. And my daddy and my mama been together maybe 30 years. I don't know. We don't know the math. We don't know the math.
See, they don't stay. Rebecca, we could really do a whole show based off of dating in the internet and how it's messed up everything, because child, it can go on for hours. And hours and hours.
Yeah, it can go on for hours. It's like love isn't the same anymore. You cheat on somebody, you get back with them. We're looking at a relationship every day on social media that they are carrying on a pedestal, and that's Christian and Blueface.
Oh my God, bro!
Google it. This is a story that's on every platform. One girl, even from Generation Z, stated that if the love doesn't look like this, and they're comparing it to Ike and Tina, they said if the love doesn't look like this, I don't want it. And we just seen recently, she just went to jail behind him just a few days ago. So toxic love is winning, cheating relationships, all of that, getting back into a cheating relationship. Here's the thing: we should never not even eat. No, whatever you are, whoever you are in a relationship, you should never have to go through something that breaks you first. That's not love. Breaking you down, and then turning around and that their partner saying, this person has always rolled with me, even when it didn't look good. No. You can't go into the mindset, well, I'm going to beat this girl down or beat this man down emotionally, physically, or whatever. No, problems do happen in a relationship, but so that's why I'm in it. I want love. That's why y'all see me. I want to be married. I want love. I want kids. I want all of the above, but I am not going to settle. I've already did my 20s and did all the mess. I've been a cheater and been cheated on. I paid my dues. It got crazy. So, but
Jonathan says, shout out to the online lovers that were on them AOL chat rooms. Jonathan, I was one of those children.
First of all, I had no business being 11 years old. Welcome to AOL, or whatever the AOL introduction was. And when the man's running, the little stick figure runs into a circle and then gets into the phone, and then you are finally connected. I had one, and mine was New Orleans 10, because I used to stay the summers in New Orleans, and I made one because my mom wouldn't let me make one, so I made one at my uncle's house.
I can't remember what my damn AOL handle was, Charlie. Maybe it's a good thing I don't remember, because oh Lord,
the creepers were on there. That's why my parents weren't
Heavy.
on there. But the creepers were like, "Hey, sweetheart," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Thank you, Lord, for protection. Now let's move on to these stories.
Because I'm gonna tell you, it's AOL chat, but I'm gonna take you one further. Don't forget the chat line, the phone number. Okay,
Listen,
go ahead, Rebecca.
listen. Okay, so for the first story, I wanted to discuss this. I hope that we have the video. Josh, please say yes, because I sent it with the video. But on Tuesday, which was yesterday, a South Carolina lawmaker who happens to be a Republican, actually had to fight back tears as he explained that an anti-abortion law, and I'm going to read this as slow as possible so we can get that video, that an anti-abortion law that he'd voted for just right before he voted for that led to a young woman nearly losing her uterus and even put her life at risk. Republican State Representative Neil Collins told the state's House Judiciary Committee that he'd lost sleep after learning about the case of a 19-year-old woman whose water broke after just 15 weeks of pregnancy. He said that because the fetus had a heartbeat, lawyers advised doctors that they could not remove the fetus despite that being the recommended medical course of action. The young woman was discharged from the hospital. This is what he was saying when he was making his testimony. He said, first, she's going to pass. He said, this is what the doctor said. First, she's going to pass the fetus in the toilet. This is what the doctor told him, Collins. And then said she's going to have to deal with that on her own. She's 19. He added that a doctor told him that there was a greater than 50% chance that she's going to lose her uterus. And there's a 10% chance that she would develop sepsis and herself die. And he said that weighs on me. And he said, I voted for that bill. These are affecting people. And it's currently unclear if the Representative Collins will put any actions behind these words, or if it's just simply what we're seeing is tears. It looks like he's actually regretful, but I want you guys to see for yourself.
Voted for the pain capable bill, the fetal heartbeat bill, and fetal heartbeat has been for 6 weeks now. The second week that the fetal heartbeat bill became law, a doctor called me out of Anderson. I live in Easley. A 19-year-old girl appeared at the ER. She was 15 weeks pregnant. Her water broke. And the fetus was unviable. The standard of care was to advise her that they could extract or she could go home. The attorneys told the doctors that because of the fetal heartbeat bill, because that 15-week-old had a heartbeat, the doctors could not extract. So their only choices were to admit the 19-year-old until that fetal heartbeat stopped. I asked, how long does it take to stop? She said, seconds, minutes, hours, maybe days. Or discharge. They discharged that 19-year-old. The doctor told me at that point, there's a 50% chance. Well, first, she's going to pass this fetus in the toilet. She's going to have to deal with that on her own. There's a 50% chance, greater than 50% chance that she's going to lose her uterus. There's a 10% chance that she will develop sepsis and herself die. That weighs on me. I voted for that bill. These are affecting people, and we're having a meeting about this. It took that whole week, I did not sleep.
Yeah, he did not get no sleep. Well, he probably did, but
right.
He voted for this, but for him to take accountability, it ain't nothing. Like I said, y'all got to start taking accountability. People who are on the right or the left or whatever, when you're wrong, you are wrong. You do not deserve a cookie for that. But what you need to do is go back and start advocating, pushing for, admitting your mistakes. Wear that A, that's the bloody A on your shirt. Like literally, you were somebody who was a part of the problem. You recognize the problem. You recognize the issue. You recognize that there was a 19-year-old girl, 19-year-old young woman who could have lost her life. And she couldn't get a procedure done because of a law that you just passed. as it relates to abortions. The doctors could not perform the procedure because of something that you put into place. And now you're allegedly losing sleep over it. We want to see what your fight looks like. And I like that you're admitting it here.
Yeah.
Cool beans. But what does it look like after that? Since.
Like,
So,
are you doing what you need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen? Like, what steps? Yeah, you losing sleep on it, and yeah, you know this is something that you voted on. But now, after seeing this, what are you doing to correct the problem? Are you part of the problem now? Or are you becoming part of the solution? Because at this point, unless you start talking about it and doing something, you're still part of the problem.
And when I seen this originally online, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
There were more of these types of stories that I've seen where people are starting to say, like, hey, there's this girl here in Texas, there's this girl in Louisiana, there's this girl who aren't able to save themselves because of a pregnancy that they need to terminate because of these abortion laws. A woman was sharing her story about how her child's skull was not fully developed, but they were forcing her to have this child anyway. Pregnancy, especially in Black women, and pushing out childbirth and just childbirth in itself can lead to death at a disproportionate rate.
Right.
We're not treated for things much often when we're in the hospital when it comes to children. And we know these abortion bills and laws will affect Black women and women of color the most. We're already dying at a disproportionate rate, an alarming rate when it comes to childbirth because of the protections that we don't have. And now they want you to have kids that possibly have deformities that they won't take care of. The state won't take care of them. Just want you to have them. Secondly, a pregnancy that could possibly kill you. That isn't good for you at all. They cannot perform the correct procedures, the life-saving procedures on these people. So it's never going to be your choice.
Crazy.
Essentially. And the person that's crying about it is a representation of who made these laws. White men. Who fought for these laws to be put in place.
It don't mean fought hard. I mean, like, they fought damn tooth and nail to make sure this passed. It's just like, did y'all do any research? Like, did y'all look at anything? Did you educate yourselves, or you just wanted the money? Because at this point, that's all it seems like. Well, if you vote for this bill, then I'm gonna bankroll your next campaign. I'm gonna fund this and put some money in your account or something. This makes no sense. Like, y'all just think women are just gonna have babies and everything is gonna be okay. There's a risk every pregnancy, and everyone's pregnancy is way different.
It's none of your business. Let me go to the doctor.
It's
let me handle
none
my
of your
business. After the doctor
damn
gives me
business.
any options for saving myself, my pregnancy, or whatever the case may be, it should not be the business of any representative over my body. If it comes to my health, my life, and this child, whatever choice that I make is my choice. Should be my choice. But that's not how it goes. Now he's crying. So I hope to see him at the front of the line when people are out there protesting, talking about it. I hope to see him in the front as a Republican discussing his stance on it today, right now, after he signed off on it just yesterday. So, all right. Now, now this is another story. I'm just going to go to Biden and then I'll go back to this story just for transition purposes. Yesterday, Biden took to the socials, or the news of took to the socials that student loan help may finally come after this huge delay. Um,
Sure.
President President Biden is set today to announce his long delayed move to forgive up to $10,000 in federal student loans for many Americans and extend a pause on payments to January, according to three people familiar with the plan. Or who are these people? And this is from AP News. But Biden has faced pressure from liberals and progressives to provide broader relief to hard hit borrowers like you and I, and from moderates and Republicans questioning the fairness of any widespread forgiveness. The delay in Biden's decision has only heightened the anticipation for what his own aides acknowledge represents and a political no-win situation for what his own aides acknowledge represents a political no-win situation. So I needed to read that again. The people spoke on the condition of the anonymity. That word kills
Good
me.
job. There you
To
go.
discuss anonymity. I don't say that much often in my lifetime. To discuss Biden's intended announcement ahead of time, the precise details of Biden's plan, which will include an income cap limiting the forgiveness to only those earning less than $125,000 a year. Honey, I didn't even scrape the surface of mine. Were being kept on an unusually small circle within the Biden administration, and we're still not finalized on the eve of the announcement. Down to the wire decision making has been a hallmark for Biden and the White House, but the particular delay on student loans reflects the vexing challenge confronting him in fulfilling a key campaign promise. The plan would likely eliminate student debt entirely for millions of Americans and wipe away at least half a million more. That's not
Pause.
true.
So who the f who in the crap is that $10,000 going to wipe away loans for? I went to a private school. My freaking loan debts is at 80,000 plus. What the hell is $10,000 going to do for me? And then Jackson, Michigan in the chat room, bro. Why should we cancel student loan debt? Because y'all motherfuckers lied to us and said that we was gonna get money, and after we graduate college, we were gonna be able to pay y'all back. I'm gonna die paying back the federal government.
Worse. It got
worse
as the years progressed.
Excuse me, my language. I'm sorry.
it got worse as the years progressed. We went to school because we were told that's how we can make it in life. I have 3 degrees. Look, I got 3 degrees. Okay. And the struggle is even realer with the degrees because now it's like you didn't even need a degree to do that. That's what they say. You didn't even need a degree. And I'm proud of my degrees. I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of what I learned. But as a child, you are a child and you are in that much debt doing what they told you to do in America.
Yep.
And moving forward, you try to work to pay those back off, realizing that by the end of your time, you got nothing left in retirement and nothing. And if you don't pay it when you're supposed to pay it, they'll come and garnish your check. So now you can possibly be homeless, hungry, kids ain't got nowhere to stay, nothing while you're trying to work to keep the lights on, but the money is being taken from you. So this is where we're at with it. A lot of people on social media right now are having the conversations, and there's 2 sides to it. Like there's the one that we are from people who are borrowers who couldn't afford to pay back, who had to go back to school because by the time we got out of school, it wasn't enough. That education wasn't enough at that point. Your 1 degree was now considered or comparable to a high school degree. And now you had to go back because a master's would make you stand out. And that still wasn't the case. Now you've added on more loans to your life. You've added on more debt to your life. And it still means nothing. So not the education that you've got, because we were blessed. And like you said, you went to a private school and you also went to a HBCU. So you were blessed to go and get an education. That's a lot of times people in other countries and family members weren't able to have that opportunity. And we were blessed to go do that. Some of the schools were our first our first times leaving our parents' homes, and things like that. So yeah, learning responsibility. Yeah, all of that came with it. But the debt that we have on top of the debt that we had, that we accrued while being in school from the vultures that were banks that were coming onto the campuses, having us to sign up for other loans just for us to survive.
Sign our life away. Right.
And we were never skilled on any of that. The
And,
banks were preying on 17-year-olds.
this whole thing really pisses me off because now it's like at the end of this month, probably the end of next month, who knows, they're going to start garnishing my wages again. And it sucks because even though you try to end the garnishment, once you sign up for another payment program, you have to make those payments for 6 months to a year before they stop fucking garnishing your wages, bro. So now
it is.
I gotta pay you more money to the government while y'all are still taking money out of my check and still live and survive. How?
And
How?
before the garnishing of wages, what they do is they already give you about 70% of your wages, what you make anyway. So to have that garnished on top of that for any which reason, for whatever, especially for school loans, that is ridiculous. And the promises that were made and campaigned on were that student loans would be removed. The argument when they did present it to Joe Biden as he campaigned was that, what do you see what I've done for African Americans? Do you remember when he said that? And he made that statement when they asked him about student loans. And as we continued on, he doubled down on saying he would remove student loans for people. We were all pressed about that because that would what that would look like for a lot of people. With now they can get houses. Now they wouldn't have to worry about their wages being garnished. Now they wouldn't have to work. That's one huge chunk of their life that would get them out of debt. And so now here we are, and we're frustrated about this for many different reasons. And you're right, you're constantly having to go into programs with whoever your loan person was, and or loan company was. You're having to either do like a $5 a month payment plan or to $100 a month or whatever you can pay. The argument online is that, what about me? I paid for my loans. My parents paid my loans off. So why do you get to get off scot-free? Because your parents were able to do that. They only did it because they were able. Even if they were taking money from their savings, they had a savings to take from. Even if they were taking money from their 401k, they had a 401k to take from. A lot of times the kids who go to school do not have that help. I'm a first generation.
Yeah.
There was nothing that my parents could do. My dad saved money for me to go to college. I blew through that like nobody's business when they no longer wanted to give me assistance.
And you know, and with, especially within Black families, you know, most times the parents, I know my parents, like like you said, Generation X. So my parents, they did what they could, which was, you know, signing out for our loans and everything. But as far as saving money and giving us money to go to school, it just wasn't possible back then. No. It wasn't easy to, especially, 4 kids, it's 4 of us. So saving up for money for one person to make it through college, that was a lot while still trying to survive. So we got up and did it on our own. You know, mom, like I said, they signed those loan papers and we appreciate that. So that also added debt to them as well, too.
My God, that's a big one, Bubba. That's a big one.
For real. It's like, here it is. It's double debt on both sides if you really think about it, because you can't sign your own loans once you get there until you turn, 23, 26? I think it's 20 or 23. I can't remember what age that they let you sign your own independent loans. But now you got to sign up for, I think it is 21 as well. But now mom and them got loans from me for other kids, from 4 kids, okay? Now we got our own loans as well, too. So it just sucks all the way around. It just, America sucks.
Yeah, my mom, she couldn't do a lot of things because of the loans that like my sibling had put in her name.
Yeah.
And they did it because they thought if she finishes school, she'll be able to get a job that allows her to repay that money back. But the struggle, especially coming out after the recession, The pain of that. Man, I went to school fall of 2007. I was in the recession during school. My dad and mom were now hit with it. So many students had to now pour themselves into looking for ways, extra loans to get through school because our parents could no longer pay for it anymore.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There was nothing they can do for us. So the banks and the loan companies started preying on us who had no any financial education when it came to student loans.
Right.
All we knew is that if we can pay for it and get a little extra money back, we can do what we need to do and get through school. And it turned out to be on my debt right now, plus interest. I think I got like 40 grand more on top of it in interest from not paying.
Child, look, the bad part about mine is my loans have been sold off from more than some cheap prostitute on Metropolitan over here. I don't even know who has my loans. I don't even know what the price of the loans are. Because they've just been shuffled around. It's went from one private lender to another, back to the other, back to another. I'm like, what's going on? But now I have to work through y'all. But I'm so confused. I don't just get rid of them.
And you think that sometimes, like, oh, you get like, oh, $1,000 has been removed from your loans. I'm like, whose loans? I go and check, and it ain't mine. Where are they getting this information from? Then they send you something in the mail that says your loans may be forgiven. All you have to do is or the phone calls, because that is right there with the warranties. If y'all watching, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
With the warranty call with your car, you're also getting there is a new law put into place where you can have your loans. Just give us a phone call at such and such. Act now. And then you don't say anything on the phone, and then it loops again. There is a new law that came into play. It's like, see, I can't trust y'all. I can't trust y'all.
And it's like, who am I supposed to call? Or is it one of those things y'all are gonna take it off of people's taxes if there's how you doing it? And that irks my soul too. The way that y'all are going through and doing stuff by taxes. I don't that's another conversation that you already know. So going through my taxes are saying that you're going to look at the tax returns and all this other stuff, man. F all of that. Y'all can pull up the student loans any other way you can. Y'all see it's there. Cancel the shit.
Yeah. Period. It's stressful. Every time we get to this topic, it's a real life topic. It's something that's affecting a lot of people, many people. So just because you guys were able to pay, and for the ones who were able to pay off their loans, God bless you.
Yeah. It's like y'all worked hard, and don't get it twisted.
Your parents worked hard, or they were able. If I was able to pay off my loans, I would. I promise you, I would. But
absolutely,
that's not something that I can think of in this moment because I got so many bills. With the rise of everything, the rise in cost of everything, I cannot afford to pay y'all thing. I remember I had got a credit card from Bank of America to get my brother through school. And they came after me instantly and threatened to take me to court. I was 21. I had just graduated. And I paid my brother's 2 years of college off because he was doing 2 years at TCC. I didn't know what payback looked like. They just literally gave me a credit card, and I took that credit card and paid my brother's schooling off. Because again, I told you, by the time he got to school, parents couldn't do a thing for him, so I had to do that. And as soon as I graduated, I moved to New York. They came to my house, told me that they would bring me to jail first. And my mother not speaking English, they attacked, like they kind of gave her that big attack, and they forced me to do a payment plan with them at the age of 21 with no money. I'm literally living in New York straight after college, trying to figure out my life. And they did a payment plan with them. So my money that I got was going to them constantly. constantly, just going to them until I got to a certain point that didn't even, it was like 5 cents in totality to what I owed after what I gave them. But when I finally got to a certain point, I realized I'm not going to be able to pay this because now I got bills.
Yeah.
So I just stopped paying, and I had to start, what is that called? When you keep pushing it back.
Defer it.
Yeah, I had to defer it. Yeah. And so
that sucks.
Yeah.
And like I said again, shout out to everybody. If you're able to pay off your school loans, power to you, and I'm glad.
Yeah, XO Bob, you got Pell Grants. I had Pell Grants.
Love it.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
It wasn't
enough.
When I tell you I got Pell Grants, regular loans, unsubsidized, subsidized, everything. It just wasn't enough. And a full tuition band scholarship. That still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough.
I got a first generation scholarship. I went to school before everyone else. In my family, in my school, I was the first to be accepted. I started school 4 months before all the freshmen came to school. I tried to do my best. I went to school so I wouldn't stay in school for a long time. I went to school during the summers. I never missed a summer when it came to going to school.
Oh my gosh. Me too, Rebecca.
Every single summer. And I still, to reduce debt, and I still owe so much damn money.
Yeah, and see, had I known then what I know now, child, them summer school classes, I would have just stayed out because I took out loans for those too. I'm just like, look, I'm trying to get in and get out.
Yeah.
And it didn't work like that.
It didn't work like that. I still stayed next semester for my whole class. Next semester. Anywho, yo, Joe Biden, you know what we gonna do with them loans?
Biden, man, just cancel it, bro. Just like, what do you get? What do y'all have to lose? Because we're sending millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars over to another country for a war that we're not in, but yet we can't even help our own country right now. Cancel this crap, man.
Yeah,
cancel this crap.
Cancel it. That's our end. Cancel it.
Cancel it.
Speaking of canceled, okay. Over last week, it came and gone. It was a rapper that came out of nowhere, a brand new rapper on the scene named FN Meka or Meka.
Child, I think it's Meka. Had no idea about this until yesterday, child.
On August 14th, Capitol Records announced that it had signed FN Meka, a digital rapper and a TikTok influencer described by the label, and I want you guys to really just focus on what I'm saying, as the world's first AR artist to sign with a major label. Meka, and I hope, Josh, we can get some visuals so they can see. Also in that same link, but Meka is a digital rapper. A caricature who was signed to a major label. A press release from FN Meka's 2021 publicist.
Oh, he's like real ass digital.
What is the things that the people are buying that are all in the digital space?
NFTs.
This is what FN Meka is.
Meka.
2021, publicist described Meka as an AI-powered robot rapper. I just have to pause every time I say something else about this. But I want you guys to understand this was on August 14th. And Meka's first single on the label was Florida Water, which featured Gunna, who's in jail, and gaming streamer Clicks. As of yesterday, August 23rd. Now that was from the 14th. Now we got the 23rd.
Wait, okay.
FN Meka or Meka is no longer on a major label. Went from the 13th to the 23rd, 10 days straight. Is no longer on a major label. Capitol Records has announced that it has severed ties with the digital rapper, guys. where are we living? How are we living life, God? A digital rapper, but has severed ties with the digital rapper, according to the New York Times. They said, quote, CMG has severed ties with FN Meka project effective immediately. In their statement, they continued, we offer our deepest apology to the Black community for our insensitivity in signing this project without asking enough questions about equity and the creative process behind it. We thank those who have reached out to us with constructive feedback in the past couple of days. Your input was invaluable as we came to the decision to end our association with the project. The project has been criticized after clips went viral of the, and they have to call the artist the project, y'all. The project using the N word in a song. But as Tiger put it for us, to be clear, it wasn't the hard ER. Who cares if it wasn't the hard ER? We don't even know who's behind the digital caricature that's making money and signed as a rapper using this language. So
there's some more.
Listen to me. They said that actually we do know, and it's a white man.
Actually, go ahead. It's not. This story is so convoluted with stuff.
So
like
So this was per the yesterday's developments in the New York Times, but people also pointed to an image shared on one of Meka's accounts of the rapper being brutalized by police. It's a digital caricature. Factory New co-founder Anthony Martini said in 2021 that Meka was voiced by a human, but its lyrics and song structures came from an AI, stating he was created using thousands of data points compiled from video games and social media.
And I know Josh has another clip of this. That explains a little bit deeper that the owners and founders are white, but the actual voice is a actual rapper, a Black guy. So now he's getting the short end of the stick because now he's about to lose all his money. Oh yeah, because he was a real rapper. So now he's been dropped.
But the character, the digital thing, that was it's an AI. It is artificial intelligence. The voice that they used was from the rapper.
Real. Yeah.
But everything
so the
else
AI,
is like artificial intelligence.
Yeah, basically what happens is they put the lyrics are basically produced from an AI, and the Black guy is one that just basically recites the lyrics.
He has the voice. They took his voice, utilizing his voice.
Think about it though. How many people out here really doing that? I really think there's a whole lot of these rappers out here.
But it's crazy to hear that they've signed an AI when they could just go sign a rapper.
When they could have just signed him.
They want to make a digital space, and it gets weird. But let's see what the clip looks like. What's on this?
What's going on, everybody? This Kyle the Hooligan. So I know y'all probably been hearing about this FN Meka stuff. People been DMing me. And I try to keep it quiet because I was gonna really wait till this shit blew up for real and then went after them, because basically it was like they came to me with this AI shit and was like, would I want to be the voice of it? And I thought it was gonna be like some collaboration. They promised me equity into the company, percentages, all this stuff. So I'm thinking like, okay, there's about to be some collab, something different for me, so where I could do my music and be on some AI stuff with this FN Meka character. So everything's going good. Next thing I know, niggas just ghosted me. Like, use my voice, use my sound, use the culture, and literally just left me high and dry. Damn. I ain't get a dime off of nothing. And they got record deals, all this stuff. I wasn't involved with no meetings or none of that, like, which is fucked up. So honestly, like, I'm glad they ass got canceled. Like, that's karma for the ass.
That's real.
God don't play with me. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
God don't play with now.
That's messed up, bruh.
See, now this is a development that I wasn't expecting. Thank you so much for that, Josh. Because again, see how things can get misconstrued. But the reason why they were going with the voice being white was because I think that's how the label wanted it to be, where they did not want them to know about the rapper not getting paid, them utilizing his stealing his voice. They wanted him literally out of the picture, silent and gone. They used his likeliness, they used his voice, and they continued on the journey without him.
That's terrible. But yeah, you were right. Meka. It is Meka.
Okay.
He looked just like the damn AI character though.
He's very handsome.
Yeah, he is. He looked just like he in the thuggish too.
He's very handsome. I hope he's very handsome. But I do hope that he gets I hope he's suing. I hope he's getting the coin. He thought that he was, because he's into AI, he said, and he's also a rapper. He thought this would be able to push him further where he needed to go, give him his coins where he needed to go, and also for him to be involved in this space, be a rapper. And Capitol Records should be ashamed of themselves because here we are where we're constantly, and this is what it was, stealing Black artistry, stealing Black everything. Kyle the Hooligan is his name on Instagram.
Kyle the Hooligan.
You could be a hooligan.
So, oh my God, y'all are terrible in this chat room. Y'all talking about Killer Cut, talking about FN Meka's trade for sure.
Oh Lord,
he definitely is. I get the vibes.
He's very handsome though. Whatever he is, very handsome. Now listen to me,
handsome Rebecca.
Yeah, fine.
You know that man. Okay, thank you.
Okay, look, for the ones, I say handsome. When he's a beautiful person, fine could be fine, but he's also very handsome. He has nice skin. Whatever. We're not talking about that right now. What we're talking about is the disrespect and utilizing. It's almost like it is. It's exactly what record companies have been doing for years.
Mm-hmm.
But this time they were able to act like the character was Black, but they just used the likeliness of him and sent him on his way. And in this digital space, we can grab his voice, but let the AI do the rest of the work.
Yeah, so I think you confused. So it was still his voice, but so like the AI generated, and basically he gets it and raps it. So he was still using it.
No, it's his voice. Yeah. What I'm saying is it's his voice, but the AI, right, generated, they said from data that they compiled, not from him literally sitting there and saying statements or whatever. They used his voice in the data compiled the words and created whatever the hell it was moving with. Yes.
Jesus Christ, this is
it's not him.
Yes, what I'm saying. The AI is the ghostwriter, but I'm saying so what y'all are saying is that, Josh, you can let us know. So y'all saying that he basically went in and just recorded stuff like his voice, but the AI basically just went in and took his voice in the lyrics and made the song.
That's it. Lyrics, he said he had no parts in anything. They just really used his looks and his voice. Just like what we hear with like Siri and stuff. There's gonna be a recording of stuff, but then they'll take all the data and stuff and now create an answer. That's what robots do. That's the cool thing about robots, but it's creepy as well. Because why is the robot saying the A at the end? Why?
But wait,
that's what y'all got from the data?
Yeah, that's terrible. But there's another update on this as well too. See, all of this stuff is just all over the place. But just hours before Capitol made the announcement that they were dropping him, the activist group Industry Blackout released a statement calling for the label to cut ties with FN Meka, specifically noting Gunna's involvement with the project while being incarcerated on RICO charges. The indictment specifically cited Gunna and Young Thug's lyrics. The statement reads, "It has come to our attention that your company has decided to partner with Factory New on signing the artificially designed rapper FN Meka. While we applaud the innovation in tech that connects listeners to music and enhances the experiences, we find fault in the lack of awareness and how offensive this character is. It is a direct insult to the Black community and our culture, an imagination and I'm sorry, an amalgamation of gross stereotypes, appropriative mannerisms that derive from Black artists, complete with slurs infused in lyrics. The digital effigy is a careless abomination and disrespectful to real people who face real consequences in real life.
And that in their statement, in Capital statement, that's who they were referring to when they said they missed the mark with the Black community. Now, Gunna being on the track, why? I'm not saying that but see, what's the brutality? And why was this character being brutalized by police officers? A digital.
Oh, Lord.
Anywho, here we are. Y'all went through this whole process, wasted millions of dollars because there was $1 million contract. Wasted money, right? And when y'all could have just signed this man, a real person who looks like the person that you guys, it's weird. It's strange. And then you guys really had some, like read the room. It was like low-key racist.
It's low-key racist.
Like that's crazy.
Like literally, it's like y'all made a damn AI robot. So
strange.
It's like yeah. So basically, what y'all trying to do is y'all basically just told us what y'all trying to do. It's basically get rid of and not have to pay a specific person, use their likeness, their voice, and everything else. And that's how we're gonna make records. Oh,
and
okay.
That's what they've been doing for years, right? A
Milli
lot
Vanilli.
of our music has been stole from us, and created to sound like whatever. And the people get paid. I've watched a lot of white artists sing our music, get in the game with our types of voices, and then change and go to rock at the end of the day, or go to something more like punk or something. Demi Lovato, I don't get it, right? And
Rebecca, Pink,
right?
Pink. I know, y'all. A lot of people don't realize Pink started out as an R&B artist.
Yes, she did.
David signed to LaFace Records.
Yes,
LaFace. She did a whole R&B album.
I loved her at the time.
Loved it. And then, granted, I love her, still love her now, but she got her a start R&B.
They had to do that when that could have been for somebody who fit, like who really is in that music, like JoJo, that white girl. Sings just that. That's her.
My gosh.
You know, but here in this space, this is what we're seeing. They're gonna utilize your voice. They're gonna use it, but they don't want you to be. I'm telling you, they would have molded this character for another character to come out, and it would have been a white character in the same space, in rap or whatever, or whatever we see. It's just too much. It's just too much. Yes, they did force these artists into R&B, but all these artists took the opportunity and the chance to do it. And then they changed over, benefited from being in R&B in a Black space on Black stages, and then were able to go do what they needed to do when there were Black artists that could have taken this role, because this is what they love to do, but for visual purposes. So they used this man as a project.
I just hope that he's
suing.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just hope that, you know, and I know that he'll get up there and he'll get something of his own, you know.
Yeah. Anywho, child, we at the end of the day. We done gave y'all 5 extra minutes. I love you guys so much.
We did a good show today.
We had a good show today. It was cool. We just had conversations, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoy your Wednesday. Bubba, pull up the affirmation, give it to the streets.
Hold on.
And if you haven't, please watch the Cinderella story, the Black one. Okay. And that's with Brandy, Whitney Houston, and all the other ones. Now, again, we are doing these shows for the summer for you. We're rocking for you. We are at the end of the summer, so we got just a few more summer episodes left. We're trying to make them a great experience for you guys. If you have been supporting thus far, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Without you, we wouldn't be able to be here. With your gifting, it also blesses us to continue to do this from the Chris Nai being the crib, because we are doing this for the free. So with your help, it's great. Cash App is open and available. That's DJX3C and Becca's Voice. DJX3C and Becca's Voice. It helps us to continue on, to keep the lights on, literally. So If you want to give, you can give that way. I love you guys so much. Bubba, hit him with the affirmation.
Affirmation. I have grown in so many areas of my life, and my journey is just beginning. I have grown in so many areas of my life, and my journey is just beginning. Love
everyone. That is so beautiful. I know that today, at this particular moment, you may not feel what he just said, but think about 5 years ago where you were and how you imagined you would be one day here in the position that you are right now. Even though it's not at the same age or whatever, I know there is something that you should be proud of in the growing that's happening in your life. Love you guys so much. Mean it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
When I get you back, oh yeah.
Rebecca Rico said hey as well too. I forgot to tell you. Shout out to Industrial Lights, man. Shout out to everybody, man. And like I said, love on yourself, let everybody else. Keep your head up. Stay strong out there. Pray for each other, man. We got this. We can do this. We all family. Love y'all, mean it, man. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we will see y'all in the mañana. That's the mañana's morning? Who knows? I can't remember. Love y'all, mean it, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.
I know you need it. Love is it when you're around. Oh, please say that you believe it. 'Cause I don't want to lose you. I hope you feel that way too. No, I don't want to lose you. Baby, don't go. Don't go. When I get you back, oh yeah. Get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. Oh, when I get you back, oh yeah.